All right, welcome back to the channel. So it looks like that we could be potentially getting a future showdown against Keith Thurman versus Gervonta Tank Davis in the new future, according to multiple source and a strong source. I'm gonna break it down for y'all. Let's talk about it in this video. King Jr. got another video for y'all. Please sure that you like and subscribe to the channel to get all your latest boxing news. With that being said, it looks like we're going to be potentially getting a future showdown against Keith Thurman versus Gervonta Tank Davis. And here's my whole thoughts on the whole situation. I think that's going to be a great fight to make. We know that Keith Thurman has came back against Mario Barrios. Now, a lot of people has questioned Keith Thurman about that performance since Mario Barrios. Keith Thurman has been coming off a 2-year layoff. Keith Thurman still have to get back to the groove of things. He have to be an active fighter. And Keith Thurman, in my opinion, didn't look that good against Mario Barrios. I felt like his timing was off. I think his speed was a little bit off, and his power, it seems that it wasn't there like it usually be, because we haven't seen Keith one-time Thurman since 2015. That was recently what his last knockout really was. And Keith Thurman at times does not have the best body in the world. We've seen Keith Thurman get hurt multiple times by Josecito Lopez in the body, Louis Collazo in the body, and against a Manny Pacquiao in the body. And Manny Pacquiao is not even a body artist, but he got hurt very badly by Manny Pacquiao running around the ring. And the question begs to differ is, what can Keith Thurman will do at this point? Well, Keith Thurman is a WBC interim champion, so Keith Thurman is looking to be making this move for like the interim belt or the regular WBC belt, or how many belts the sanctioned bodies have. So according to a source, multiple sources, that Keith Thurman could potentially, Keith Thurman and Gervonta Tank Davis could potentially have a fight in the future. We heard Leonard Ellaby was strongly pressed Keith Thurman that Leonard Ellaby is confident that Gervonta Tank Davis will knock out Keith Thurman. And I think that Gervonta Tank Davis can knock out Keith Thurman at this stage of his career. Keith Thurman is 33 years of age. Gervonta Tank Davis is 27. So Gervonta Tank Davis has fresher legs and a lot more miles to run on his legs. And a lot of people compare Gervonta Tank Davis to a stature of Manny Pacquiao. And we recently saw Gervonta Tank Davis hurt Mario Barrios when he fought Mario Barrios, knocking him out in the 11th round, I believe, towards the body and stuff like that. And Keith Thurman fought Mario Barrios at 147, and there was times that Mario Barrios hurt Keith Thurman in the body. Keith Thurman started running around the ring. So something is really wrong with Keith Thurman. But with that being said, a lot of people is favoring that Gervonta Tank Davis can beat Keith Thurman. I think Gervonta Tank Davis can beat Keith Thurman because Gervonta Tank Davis is a boxer puncher. You know, he has a beautiful jab. He utilized his left hand a lot, the straight left a lot. He's very good body puncher. He uses lateral movement. Gervonta Tank Davis shows that he doesn't have to be the aggressor in the fight, because if Gervonta Tank Davis hurts something on his body, like his hands or whatever, usually his hands or whatever, not Gervonta Tank Davis is going to show you the ring IQ and boxing ability to win the match. And even though when he fought Mario Barrios, he was losing, I will admit this, he was losing the first 4 rounds. Gervonta Tank Davis did make the adjustments to get close to Mario Barrios and looking to throw down some power on Mario Barrios, landing gruesome body shots and putting Mario Barrios down. So Gervonta Tank Davis does have a high ring IQ. I think that Gervonta Tank Davis can beat Keith Thurman, because Keith Thurman would need another fight, at least 2 fights, if he wants to either have a potential showdown with Gervonta Tank Davis in the near future, if, according to these sources, that it could potentially happen after Rolly Romero. This is coming from a few sources. It could potentially happen after Rolly Romero. Who knows? During the business of boxing. So be expecting to look for that fight. I'm picking Gervonta Tank Davis to beat Keith Thurman, because I don't think Keith Thurman is the same Keith Thurman. I think Keith Thurman at this point is looking for a paycheck. He's looking close enough to get to a title, and I do not think Keith Thurman is going to get a potential shot at Errol Spence Jr. There was a lot of sources talking about Errol Spence Jr. could potentially fight Keith Thurman next if something doesn't go down with the Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence Jr. situation. I hope that's not the case. I hope Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford get made, because a lot of the boxing fans is ready for that fight to get made. But with that being said, I feel like that Gervonta Tank Davis has a lot of boxing ability. I feel like he is a more upgrade version of Manny Pacquiao, because Manny Pacquiao, difference between him and Gervonta Tank Davis, Manny Pacquiao was just a straight left hand nutcase. You know, if he lands that left hand, Pacquiao had tons of power, so Pacquiao could knock you out at any second. And a lot of people, well, Keith Thurman almost damn near got knocked out and stopped by Pacquiao in the first round. But the only difference between Pacquiao and Gervonta Tank Davis is Gervonta Tank Davis has a high ring IQ and he's looking to box. Pacquiao's not looking to box. Pacquiao is more like a puncher. He sets up his combinations pretty well, but Pacquiao at times stands flat-footed. And even though Pacquiao was winning the fight at the age of 40, which that's impressive, Keith Thurman was still showing signs that he still has the abilities to crack punches and use his boxing abilities to slow you down, whatever not. But I don't think that's the case with Keith Thurman. I think that Keith Thurman at this point is a shot fighter. We'll have to see what Keith Thurman does. He needs 2 more fights, in my opinion, if he's going to potentially or have a future showdown with Gervonta Tank Davis. Keith Thurman felt like he was disrespected about Gervonta Tank Davis. I personally don't think that Keith Thurman should take this fight, because let's say if you beat Gervonta Tank Davis, you basically get I wouldn't say get a high, it's a high risk, but I wouldn't say you get a low reward. I just say your career is over, because if you lose, you're losing to a guy that came up basically from 126 and jumped 2 weight classes to fight Mario Barrows, and now he's willing to go up another weight class to fight you. And if he beats you or stops you or knocks you out towards the body, that's going to tarnish your career for a very long time, and people ain't going to look at you like one of the best welterweights, and they're going to be wanting to favor more of Gervonta Tank Davis to compete at that division. But personally, I think that they're moving Gervonta Tank Davis the same way as they're moving Adrian Bronner. They're moving him way too fast. Even Gervonta Tank Davis stated that y'all must think I'm Superman. So they need to try to keep Gervonta Tank Davis at the 140 to 130 range, because he doesn't need to be going up in weight class, and it's just getting out of hand. And Gervonta Tank Davis, if they fight, let's say Keith Thurman has like an interim belt or something like that, or a regular WBC belt, Gervonta Tank Davis is going to be a 4-division champion. That's going to be impressive. But at the end of the day, a lot of people feel like Gervonta Tank Davis is a 1-division champion because he only had a super belt. But a lot of people, if you're a diehard boxing fan, they don't count the regular belts as real belts and stuff like that. So the future is going to, time will tell in the future if this fight really going to be seriously made. But according to a few sources and some strong sources, that if Gervonta Tank Davis is successful against Rolly Romero, he could potentially have a showdown with Keith Thurman. I think it's going to be a great fight. I think it's a super fight. I think Gervonta Tank Davis is definitely going to sell more of the fight, because we know Keith Thurman did like 50,000 pay-per-views. So Gervonta Tank Davis is going to sell the fight. And this fight is going to be huge. You know, it will be a big name on Gervonta Tank Davis. Actually, it'll be a major step-up fight for Gervonta Tank Davis, even though he's not fighting the guys at the lower weight classes that he should be fighting, but it will be a name on his resume. With that being said, guys, it is what it is. Make sure you like, subscribe, and comment. This is your boy King Jr. I'm out of here. Peace.